If you're struggling to become financially free and spirituality or religion are important in your life, you may be spiritually bypassing. Greetings, my name is Dawn from Project Liberate, where I'm concerned with all things that have to do with liberation. Financial liberation is what I'm addressing in this series of videos. This is video number 12. Please look at my previous videos and build your financial fitness if you too want financial liberation. In this video, I'm delving into what spiritual bypassing is and how it might be negatively impacting your financial progress. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you found the content in this video valuable. John Welwood, the transpersonal psychotherapist who first coined the term, defined it as such: a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks. Kendra Cherry, in her article, The Very Well Mind, entitled What is Spiritual Bypassing?, expands the definition by adding this: spiritual bypassing is a way of hiding behind spiritual practices. It prevents people from acknowledging what they are feeling. You can see how money wounds, trauma, and fear feeds into or becomes a part of spiritual bypassing. Maybe this isn't the case as much as it used to be, but I still think it exists underneath the surface. It's as if being poor is honorable and more wholesome because being rich means being greedy, ruthless, and corrupt. This spin on the truth certainly never helped anyone impoverished. I don't think impoverished folks feel being poor is honorable either. This type of thinking has been associated with some religions and spirituality, and it has certainly helped people spiritually bypass. The effect has been people remaining broke to avoid being ungodly. How have I spiritually bypassed to avoid taking responsibility for my progression? Let me start first with an example of how spiritual bypassing was modeled for me early in my life. I'll leave out the name and save myself the headache of offending anyone. Someone very close to me discovered they had cancer. This was almost 40 years ago. From what I'm told, they hoped God would spare them if that was meant to be. Note that at that time, being diagnosed with cancer was pretty much a death diagnosis. So anyone getting this diagnosis would be terrified, to say the least. They did not receive any treatments for cancer for almost 2 years while they were hoping to be saved. They didn't make it out alive. How is this spiritual bypassing? They didn't take action to fight for their life, but instead hoped that God would spare them. You can imagine, as I do, that they were completely terrified and obviously paralyzed by the thought of this deadly disease stealing their life away. So they put it in God's hands. It's the doing nothing else that reeks of spiritual bypassing. If God wishes to spare me, then you get the picture. This was avoidance, though. This was the paralysis of fear disguised as faith. I'm talking about this openly, not to criticize them. I mean, how can I? But I'm willing to examine so I can better understand myself. In my life, when I have felt stuck, I didn't know the way out, I would say, I know consciousness or God will make a way. Well, this leads me to say a little bit about how I understand what many people call God. God, or the animating force of all life, isn't over there or outside of me or any of us. We are inseparable from the force, which means we can't just wait for God to do. I do believe I have to be grounded and centered to hear my inner wisdom, higher consciousness, or God, of which I am inseparable. I do believe in and practice surrendering things to the force, or God again, of which I am inseparable. That's faith or trust in life, right? Right. And I too believe that faith is active, not passive. So while I surrender the worry, the fear, concurrently, I am taking action on my behalf. What has this looked like for me financially? And what does it look like now? My inner dialogue: I can't see how I'll ever retire from my job. How will I ever be able to afford to? I don't know how to liberate myself financially. I want to work for myself, but I can't figure it out. And so I have just felt stuck for years. I'm educated, I read, I'm endlessly curious, but I have allowed fear about advanced finances, beyond banking and paying my bills, to stump me, paralyze me. I am an ambitious woman, and yet I have been terrified by the idea of destitution for most of my life. So it has been convenient to use spiritual bypassing to avoid this topic. More inner dialogue. I don't want to be too concerned about money. I don't want to lose myself while chasing the dollar. I'm more concerned about spiritual liberation, so I'm going to just focus on that. Somehow the money thing will work out. And though it never set right with me, I guess I should figure out how to make this amount of money work. I have always felt I could express myself differently in life. That I've been living small, doing honorable work for decades now, but something else wants to be birthed into the world through me. And I'm here for it, you know? Every aspect of the journey is valuable for sure, and I have my learning to do. But an enormous part of the human experience is to navigate successfully through humanity, which includes finances and freedom. We are meant to thrive in life. And if we're not, we can find out why, clear the path, and suss out our thrive, our bliss, our joy. For me, it means facing the things I've been avoiding, live intentionally, and live a life where doing epic shit is my normal. Because that's what wants to live through me. That's what wants to be expressed in the world. Part of living consciously for me is vigilantly being aware and present, paying close attention to what inner dialogue I'm having on a regular. For instance, because fear, the most common emotion, my nearest and dearest, it's been crucial for me to be vigilant around where it shows up and observe how it's impacting my life. Finances, the turbocharged topic that it is a significant area that needs my focus and attention now. It's been a long time coming. Changing any behavior starts with being aware of it. And from there, you can unravel its hold on your mind. Freedom from that which is running constantly in the background of the mind is very liberating. And you know, I'm all about liberation. Remember, you are the light of the world. That's why you're here. That's your only function. I am the light of the world. That's why I'm here. That's my only function. May you be well. May you be happy. And this has been a 721 Yellow Banana production. Oh my God. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you found the content in this video valuable. Have a wonderful day.